Eric Smith's Raptors mailbag. The curious case of Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas minutes were a common theme from a number of folks that tweeted in questions this week. Valanciunas is Toronto's third-best player right now and the third option on this team behind, obviously, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. So I can appreciate your desire to see him play more and be used more. But when it comes to the last 4 games specifically, there is a logical explanation. Let's work in reverse. vs Golden State. After a solid start in the first quarter for JV and the Raptors overall, Golden State went smaller in the second quarter and subsequently went on a run. Warriors center Zaza Pachulia wasn't on the floor a ton in the match. UPS against JaVale McGee or David West weren't as favorable for Valanciunas. Thus, Dwane Casey looked at other options. Ultimately, Toronto got caught in Golden State's up-and-down game, and that pace doesn't favor the Raptors' big man either. The Raps weren't slowing down and working the post on the offensive end, and you can't rely on JV to be sprinting back on D every time either. Few big men can. So I really think Wednesday was purely matchup-driven. vs Cleveland, Valanciunas logged 34:29 minutes, only 44 seconds less than his season high on opening night against Detroit. So I don't have an issue with his usage on Tuesday at all. vs New York, after the victory over the Knicks, Casey acknowledged, I'm paraphrasing, that he wasn't certain how healthy his big man was. Was he fully back to 100% after missing a couple of games with a knee contusion? The coach was being cautious. But furthermore, Lucas Nogueira was playing out of his mind in what was arguably his best game as a pro. The decision to limit JV was easy and not without merit. vs Charlotte, it was Valanciunas' first game back after a week of rest, sitting out 2 straight games, and he was simply eased back in. Nothing more, nothing less. And based on Casey's words the next night, as noted above, there was certainly a feeling of cautiousness from the coaching staff with their big man. With battles looming over the next few days with Jusuf Nurkic, Nikola Jokic, DeMarcus Cousins, and DeAndre Jordan, I would expect to see a whole lot more of Valanciunas. I bet he averages 30-plus minutes and his role increases again. I'm not sure I would describe it as a whole, down. Though Toronto has gone small at times this season, we haven't seen DeMar play much at the 4. Instead, Casey has gone with a heavy dose of Pascal Siakam and Patrick Patterson, with a small sprinkling of Jakob Poeltl, though most of his minutes have been at the 5. Yes, Jared Sullinger was supposed to be the starter, and I think he could have had a solid impact on the Raptors' starting unit this season, and will when he returns in the new year. However, even with Sully sidelined, Toronto got off to a 7-2 start with a rookie power forward. Siakam has not looked out of place. He's active and unafraid on defense, and he has shown confidence to take a shot, when needed, on offense, while running the floor, setting screens, and chasing down rebounds and tip-ins. He's high energy and hustle, the kind of characteristics every coach wants. Personally, I'd be more concerned about Toronto's team-wide inconsistent 3PT shooting right now, and not their alleged hole up front. I know there has been a ton of talk over the last 2 games about the whistle and the perceived notion that Toronto doesn't get calls. Hey, at times, I buy that theory too. But Vince Carter is certainly not the last Raptor to get calls.